welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher. So let's jump right into it. We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and I want to thank you guys for joining me for another video here on the channel. Today is an important video. I want to talk about our collecting goals and who we are as collectors going forward in this comic market. It's extremely important, so make sure you watch this one until the end. But before we get started, like every video, I ask you, if you're not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor, hit that sub button for me. You guys know we're about 150 subs away from getting to 5,000, and once we get there, I'm giving away an Iron Man 1 to one lucky subscriber. So click that sub button. Smash that like button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a video, but we need to get this video as many likes as possible to share it with the community, because this one is an extremely important video. Lastly, I just listed some new t-shirts for sale with some awesome logos if you're a Marvel or DC fan, so make sure you check them out below. The first thing I want to talk about today is comic book collecting goals and why I think they're important. Whether you're a novice collector just getting into the hobby or a seasoned collector having collected comics for over 20 years, it will always benefit you to have some rules and regulations for yourself going forward in your comic journey. Unfortunately, over the past year and a half or so, I've seen a lot of people leave this hobby, whether dissatisfied with their comic purchases, buying the wrong things at the wrong times, being taken advantage of by other people. It's just not a good environment right now, and especially since the comic book market is as ice cold as I've seen it over the past 7 years. So that is the first thing. If you don't have a set of goals and you don't know what you're doing and you're just kind of nilly-willy going out there and buying books, do yourself a favor. Sit down, find out what kind of collector you want to be. So that begs the question, what type of comic book collector are you? Now, in our community, there are so many types of comic collectors out there, and nothing is wrong with any of them. If that's what you choose to be and you're happy collecting those things, I think it's awesome, but I also think it's important we talk about each one. Now, the first one we're going to talk about is the first appearance collector, where you collect comic book keys, right? That's what we're talking about. You go out and you buy first appearances mainly, whether it be silver, bronze, copper, golden age, whatever it is, you're a first appearance collector. Next up are the people who collect comics for the cover artwork, whether it be a modern book, again, a back issue of some sort. They love the artwork and it appeals to them, and that's why they collect it. Then we have our variant collector. Of course, they go to the LCS every Wednesday and buy every variant cover they can find. Then we have those collectors who only buy certain artists, whether you're a Todd McFarlane lover and you buy everything Todd McFarlane, whether you're an Art Germ lover and you buy every Art Germ crazy cover out there. There are people who only collect those things. Of course, then we have the big key and grail collectors, people who only collect huge grails like AF-15, Hulk 1, Batman 1, all the major books they want in their collection. And that leads me right into investors, right? People who are only parking their money in comics strictly for the money. And then we have those crazy incentive variant and exclusive cover collectors where they go to cons and get exclusives, 1 in 50s, 1 in 100s, things you can only get at cons or certain places, and they're at limited supply. And lastly, we have the hoarders, people who buy and buy and buy and never sell anything and have thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of books in their collection. Now that we've kind of gone through all of the collecting types in our community, and I may have forgotten one or two, what type of collector are you? And are you happy being that type of collector? Now, I didn't mention this before, but you can be more than one type. You can go out and collect big keys, but you could also collect variants. You can collect cover artists as well as collect big grails, and there's nothing wrong with that. But know what type of collector you are and who you want to be. Like I said before, a lot of people have left this hobby because if they collected the wrong thing or they're not happy with their purchases. Regardless, I want to see you guys put your money in the best possible spots. Now, if money's not an option, hey, that's awesome, man. Go out and get whatever the hell you want. But I think for most of us out there, money's an issue. I think a lot of collectors out there right now are kind of at a crossroads because of where the market is. Like I said before, with the market being ice cold, I see a lot of people panic selling. I see a lot of people downsizing. And I just don't want people to sell for the wrong reasons. Whether you're like I said, a first appearance collector, a variant collector, no matter what it is, are you downsizing your collection because of the market? Are you selling things because you don't want to burden your family members 20 to 30 years down the road when you're not around? I want to know the answers to these questions. For me, I can give you my personal experience. you know, I've been lucky enough to kind of buy almost every comic that I've wanted to own, right? There are a few exceptions. I don't have an Action Comics 1. I don't have a Detective Comics 27, and I don't think in my lifetime I will ever see them. But when you get to a certain point in collecting, there's nothing really else for you to collect. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I thought it was an interesting note to kind of bring this topic up because of where we are. I see a lot of people selling. I see a lot of people selling stuff that honestly they shouldn't be selling, or it will be hard for them to sell. When I say hard for them to sell, I'm seeing a lot of non-keys being sold right now, or at least trying to be sold. I don't see a lot of grails being sold or even put up for auction. Every now and then I'll see some Golden Age stuff, some big boys go up, but I'm not seeing the AF-15s flying out the door like they were a couple of years back. I'm not seeing the Hulk ones being sold at a rapid pace anymore. Are those books being held back, and maybe people are trying to sell off some of the stuff that's not really important to them? I want to know your thoughts down below. Drop me comments and let me know. I want to ask you guys this: is the current market the way it is have you second guessing yourself over what you purchased over the past couple of years? Have you started downsizing? With anything, timing is important, right? When I got back into collecting in 2017, I think it was the ideal time to buy comics. It was before really the MCU had exploded with Avengers Infinity War, Captain America Civil War, all those great movies that we had. It was the time to buy. And then of course, once we got to Avengers Endgame, it kind of all came to a close, right? We had this tremendous climax in the MCU, and it kind of left people wondering, well, what now? And of course, everything that came after that wasn't as good. But that wasn't the only reason. We had, of course, the current influx of money from COVID, people driving up prices because the market wasn't doing anything and they poured their money into collectibles. It was a bunch of different things that kind of made this market go boom. But that brings me to my next point. Is now the time to buy? And I'm going to say, if you're a long-term collector, guys, and you want to collect the bigger books, and when I'm saying bigger books, I'm talking about the best of the best, I think now's a great time to buy. If you're a 20-year holder, and if you watch my channel religiously, I've been saying that, I think you'll do very well, because some of the books have come down about 35%, some more than that, about 60-something%. The books that have come down around 60-something%, I'm not sure I really want to buy at this point. But those that have come down a little bit, like the 33% books, I think now, especially the bigger keys, are the ones I'd be putting my money towards if you're a long-term collector. Now, again, we have the evolution of the collector. Where you are now may not be where you are in the future. So whatever you do decide to buy, like always, you just have to be confident in what you're doing and willing to hold on to these books. My goal today with this video is to kind of get you guys thinking about, 1, your collecting goals, 2, what kind of collector you are, and 3, what kind of collector do you want to be down the road? And again, what your plans are for the future. I don't want to see any more people leave this beloved hobby of ours. Again, I talk about books sometimes like they're investments, but the main thing is, like everybody says, you should be buying what you like. And if you're happy buying the books that you're buying, then all the more power to you. But for me, I think that I've kind of narrowed my collection, or I am still narrowing my collection to the books that I actually truly love. And you see me owning Amazing Spider-Man run, you see me owning AF-15 and Hulk 1. Those are my characters, and of course Batman and my Batman 1. I've kind of narrowed it down to those characters. Anything outside of that, I really don't need to own. So the evolution of the collector, where are you now and where you're going to be in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.